Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's Mike, also known as Residual Current, and I'm on site with a professional electrician today to do some domestic remedial work. So there's an EICR carried out at this property. There's a long list of issues that we need to resolve, as well as upgrading the fuse board. And Ideal have actually sent out some stuff for us to use, which is hopefully going to make our life easier. Let's head to the van and take a look at what we got. So like I said, Ideal have sent us out loads of bits to play with today, and I certainly think they're going to make that list of jobs really easy to complete. Obviously, if you don't know, Ideal do loads of electrical consumables, all sorts of things, but they're also heavily invested in connectors of all sorts too. So we've got a range of them, starting with the Splice Line, great for just elongating cables in tight spaces. They go up to 4mm, and then we've got some pushing connectors as well, different sizes, 6mm and 4mm. They're great for your maintenance-free connections where you can't get back up there again, where you need to rely on that connection. So that's definitely going to come in handy today. We've also got a range of lever connectors, which I think all electricians nowadays absolutely love. Really easy to use and reuse, really quick, and great for like testing and stuff like that too. We've got a FT45 unshielded kit, and what that is basically a little box which is going to make RJ45 connections a breeze. I've heard it's really easy to use, it speeds up the process. We've got a little bit of that to do today, so that's going to be dead handy. And of course we've got some inshore boxes as well, which is just going to wrap around these connections, make them compliant, make them safe, and just tidy a lot of things up. Let's get this stuff unpacked and head into the job. So the first job I need to tackle today is this light switch. Now, there was nothing actually wrong with it at the time of the inspection functionally. Obviously, when I've pulled this off, there's some exposed copper in there, which isn't great. That's bare live wire. So I'm actually going to use one of the Ideal Splice Line connectors to repair it. The reason I'm using a Splice Line is because when I trim this down, it's actually going to be too short to get it back into the switch. So by using one of the Splice Line connectors, I can essentially elongate the cable. Now, these Splice Line connectors take up to a 4mm solid cable and a 2.5mm stranded, and they're rated up to 32 amps. So that's pretty decent. You're covered for ring mains, you're covered for pretty much any domestic scenario, and they're also rated up to 450 volts, which is great if you do want to use them on an industrial application. Let's get in closer and start trimming this cable back to fit the Splice Line. So I'm going to start by just cutting this right on the damage, because I need to remove that element, and it also means I can strip as much off as possible. Now you can see immediately this top section of the cable is not going to be long enough to be reinstated. So that's where the Splice Line comes in. I'm just going to strip off about 10mm of cable, and then the Splice Line simply just pushes onto that cable. And again, I'm just going to push this into the bottom of the Splice Line all the way in, and that's that connection made. Super easy, super quick, and what is quite a problematic job where the cable is, you know, suddenly too short, it's so much easier. I can simply put that back, screw it back. Yeah, job done. Right, so I'm back in the garage. I've got the cover off of the fuse board, and we're actually going to test the circuit we were just working on. Now, as you can imagine, the damage to that cable at the time actually caused a bit of a weird result when I was testing. It's how I stumbled across the fault. So now I'm going to conduct a test and get hopefully a better reading now that we've repaired that connection in that switch. The test we're doing involves isolating the circuit and connecting live and earth together. So this is where something like a lever connector from Ideal is going to really come in handy. These are great for all sorts of connections, to be honest with you, as long as you can get to them, as long as you have access to them. There's nothing wrong with using a lever connector. I use them all the time, but these Gen 2s from Ideal are going to make this really quick to temporarily link these together, go and get the result, and then remove it. I don't want to be doing anything that's too permanent. It's going to take too long to undo, because it's going to be connected together for the best part of 3 minutes. They'll take up to a 4mm, and again, these are rated up to 32 amps, so they're good for ring mains, anything in a domestic setting, which is great. I've just popped the earth in there, and then the live, and as simple as that, that's them two linked together, and it's going to take exactly the same amount of time to remove them. No stress, I can pop everything back to normal afterwards and we're good to go. They're linked out. I'm now going to get my test kit out, go get that result. That's that job done. I think after that we'll get into the loft, into the dusty old loft, and we'll make some of these joints that I've found better. Right, so I'm now in the loft doing job number 3. There's actually many jobs, but for you guys it's job number 3, and it is this junction box. I can show you here. What's funny, and the reason why I coded it, is one, there's exposed conductors, which isn't great anyway, but on this beam there's actually a light switch just out of shot. So when you come into here when it's dark, you obviously feel around, and you're either going to get the light switch or you're going to get this broken junction box. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use one of the inshore boxes, and we're actually going to use some of the push-in connectors. Now this is a accessible junction box, so I certainly could just use the lever connectors in here, but because it's a loft full of stuff, this may, you know, get blocked off in the future. I just want this nice box sealed with some maintenance free connectors in there, so I know that that joint's sound, and whether you can get to it or not, there's going to be a good connection in there. I've got my conductors all stripped now, so we're ready to just pop the pushing connectors. Now these are, like I say, completely maintenance free, so there's no lever sort of mechanism to them. Once you push them in, you're set. But what that means is it's a maintenance free connection, so if this was an area of a building that you could never access again, that loft door was getting boarded up, then you would want a maintenance free connection, something that has no possibility to fail. So that's where the pushing connector comes in. It's also great for like lighting and stuff like that, backer switches, connecting all the earths together, little things like that, or a joint like this. We're going to grab our lives, and they literally just push in, and I wish there was more to it, but that is it. They push in, and it's job done. Fold them all into the box nice and neatly. The cover's going to come down, just click on. When you hear that sound, you know you're good. We've now got a decent connection that's securely mounted. The cables are actually retained. You can see I'm tugging on them and they're not going anywhere. And yeah, we've got a maintenance free connection as well. So that's a solid joint, far better than what we found. And we know we can close this loft door, and yeah, when the homeowner does come up here next time, there's no worry of yeah, touching anything they shouldn't. Right, so I'm actually in the client's living room, and yeah, one of the sort of not related but related jobs is running a network cable from their router in the living room to the home office. So it's going to need an RJ45 on it, and ideal have the FT45 unshielded kit, which has everything you need to make off Cat5 and Cat6 connections. So we'll get this open. There's actually 3 tools in here. So we've got a set of cutters, we've got a cable stripper, and then we have the RJ45 crimper itself as well. And then we've just got an array of Cat5 and Cat6 RJ45 plugs as well. You've literally got everything to trim, strip, and eventually crimp an RJ45 end. So this is a 4-pair 8-core data cable, and it's a Cat5. So I'm just going to grab a Cat5 plug, lay that down there. Now what's handy with the crimper is it has the order of the cores written on the tool itself. So we just want to grab this, push it through. And as you can see, it's sort of pushed through. We got too much cable in there. It's literally pushed through the end of the plug. That's what the beauty of the pass-through crimper will now. Trim all them off and crimp at the same time. So let's crimp those connections. It's trimmed and flush. And we have our RJ45 lead there ready to plug into the router and yeah, provide internet to the home study. Right, let's get this away. I've actually left a trail of bits and bobs everywhere today. It's just one of them jobs where there's so many different things to sort out. I'm working all around the place, but I'll tell you what, Ideal, they were right. They did make life easier today with all these bits. We'll get them packed up. The inshore box, for instance, that made that joint in the loft, yeah, just tidied it up really easily. The cable retention as well, I I was really impressed with that. It's something that I didn't even think about. You know, obviously I knew it was a great enclosure, but I didn't think it would really, you know, grip those cables like it did. But yeah, they weren't going anywhere, as you saw in the video. So yeah, tidied that up. And the connectors, I mean, we've pretty much gone through almost every connector they offer here, but yeah, there's definitely one for any job really. There's a right connector for the right job. And yeah, whether you need to re-enter them and use them again, you've got the levers, different sizes, different configurations. You've got the push-ins as well for when you want that maintenance-free connection. Also in 6mm as well. I didn't know they did push-ins in 6mm, but that would certainly come in handy. And then yeah, the splice lines, which as you saw, really really saved our skin with that short switch line cable, just because you can get a crimp in there and mess around with that, but they're never as good as one of these. And also the time, all of these are so much quicker than connector blocks, so much more efficient. It's a better connection as well. So many times I've taken stuff apart with connector blocks, everything falls out. As you know, these are not going anywhere. So yeah, you can rely on these. And the fact that I've done, you know, I've shown you guys a few of the joints we've done, but there was a lot more than that in this whole property. So the fact that we've been able to button all them up with these is not only peace of mind, but you just know it's a good job. So yeah, really impressed with the range of connectors. And surprisingly, although I absolutely hate data, I'm impressed by this FT45 kit, to be honest with you. Not only is everything in there, everything you need, but it just goes to show having the right tools for the job does just make life so much easier. The dedicated stripper, I'm normally using my cutters, you know, like I would strip an electrical cable, but using a dedicated data stripper, so much easier. It's handy to have the cutters in there as well. And that crimper is, yeah, it's small, it's compact, it works really well. And even just little things like having the colorway of the data pairs on the tool, I'm normally Googling it, trying to work out what I'm doing. So yeah, the fact that it's all written on the tool is yeah, it's really, really handy. So as much as I loathe data, this actually made something I wasn't looking forward to really easy. So yeah, I'm happy with all this. We'll get this in the van and yeah, let's get out of here. That's all for today, guys. As you can see, daylight has ran away from us. It's absolutely pitch black out here, which means it's time for me to go home, unfortunately. If you've enjoyed this video or videos like this, then make sure you subscribe to the Professional Electrician YouTube channel and check out the link below for more information on Ideal products. I'll catch you guys on the next one.